Ragtime was it was another example of writers who mistrust the movies very much, you know. E.L. Doctorow, he wrote a screenplay. No, that was a screenplay for a 10-hour-long film or 1-hour-long series for television, you know. So when I wrote a screenplay concentrating on a certain part of the book, he didn't like it at all. It's, I don't know if he saw the film ever or not, but he didn't like it at all. And now Dino De Laurentiis came that we need at least 1 star, and to pre-sell the film in Europe mainly and like that. And it was, I had a cast already and I liked the cast. And so I asked Jack Nicholson to be in it and play a small part, cameo, to play the Hurricane Thor. But 3 weeks before the shooting, the message came that he can't do it for whatever reasons. I like Jack, so I didn't ask why. And so what? And at that time, I met socially James Cagney at a dinner nearby where he lives in New York, upstate New York. And he didn't work for 20 years. 20 years he was not standing. And again, here we are talking about luck and fate. In that times, he invited me to visit him in his house. I went to see him. 2 weeks later, he forgot who I am. He asked me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm a film director. Any movie I might have seen." That my latest film is called Hair. He looked at me. And I must tell you first that in his house you wouldn't find nothing from the memorabilia. No posters, not even the statue of Oscar. Nothing, no photographs, nothing. So I said, "I made Hair." He looked at me, he went to the cupboard, he's bringing me something and says, "I never saw it. I never had a desire to see it. I don't know who gave it to me. I don't know why I kept it here, but now I am giving it to you." And this is in 1979. This was a poster from the very first off-Broadway production of Hair, which I saw in 1967. So how did that poster get there? He didn't have any idea. And in that moment, Marge Zimmerman, his caretaker, said, "James, that's an omen. You have to do Miloš's film, because the doctors are telling you that if you will not get your ass out of this chair, you will die. And this is an omen. This is telling you that you have to do this movie." And he said, "Oh, okay, all right, I'll do it if I will not have to sign, but I will not sign any contract. And I want to change my mind, I have a right to change my mind 3 days before my shooting starts." So I went to Dino De Laurentiis, the producer, and I told him, "James is a big star, so we have a star. But he will not sign any contract," which was all right with Dino, because he asked anyway to be paid for scale, and anyway the money went to the charity, so that was fine. But I didn't dare to tell Dino that he has a right. I promised him the right to change his mind 3 days before shooting. So, and his scenes are in London. James Cagney never flew in the airplane. He would never flew in the airplane. So we had to put him on Queen Elizabeth II, to bring him to London with his family, with his wife. And now I'm nervous, so what about if he changes his mind? So I found a stand-in for him. He could step in, but that would be a disaster for Dino, because we would lose the name, right? What happened was, and again, it's a good luck, I knew that he's getting more and more nervous, because that man, he was 81 years old. He was very sick. He was sciatica. He couldn't hear. He couldn't walk. He couldn't remember things and like that. And I knew that he's getting more and more nervous. So I told him, "Listen, come and see. I'm rehearsing today the scene with some British extras, Pinkertons, come on the set, just like that. And so he came, and I had like 100 extras, British actors on the set. When he appeared in the door, all these British actors and extras started to applaud. And they are applauding 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And James Cagney is standing there, and tears are coming down his cheeks. And he turns to me and says, I'll do the film. Yes, yes, I'll do the film. I'm sure if this didn't happen, he would suddenly panic and said, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. But this made him, and he saw the love of Europeans, to his work and to him. He said, I'll do the film. So that's how it happened.